Anyway, this is the fourth time I've worn a cap and gown. But this is the only time. It's the first time I'm not getting a degree, but I'm very happy to honor all of you who are getting through this program today with such a great amount of experience under your belt. And to the graduates, friends and families, teachers, colleagues, chair people, and the Dean of the Dental School. You as graduates are not only to be congratulated for completing this program, but for having the courage to pursue your dreams with such passion. As I talk with you today, I'll tell you about others who have had this courage as well, and how it helped them change a world which needs changing. This speech is dedicated to one of these, Dr. Michael Alfano. Mike Alfano received a PhD in biochemistry and oral biology after completing his DMD and specialty in periodontics in 1974. After 16 years in the corporate world, reaching the level of Senior Vice President of Research and Technology, he accepted the position of Dean at NYU College of Dentistry. This is where I met him in 1999. He's been a close friend ever since. I was teaching his students at NYU every year from 99 through 2005, largely supported by his as Dean's contribution. He later moved up to be the Senior Vice President of New York University. He founded the Santa Fe Group, which is a nonprofit which works to bring oral health care to people that would otherwise not be able to receive it, as well as enhancing dental education. He's been a beacon of inspiration to many of the most involved dental educators in the country, including many deans with clear visions of the future. Mike sends you his personal congratulations for your accomplishments and best wishes today. Now, see this book? I've had this book sitting on my desk since 1992. It's called The Crossroads, Dental Education at the Crossroads. It speaks of a crossroads, obviously, but what you might not realize is how much of a crossroads we are at today in dentistry. We are at a crossroads in both education and in practice. Things need to change. There are different paths that you can take going into the field of dentistry. I was thinking about this the other day, and I was reminded of a Robert Frost poem that I learned over 60 years ago. It's called The Road Not Taken. This is the last stanza. I shall be telling this with a sigh. Somewhere, ages and ages hence, two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. You have taken the road less traveled, as has your mentor, Dr. Zedaki, Mike Alfano, and I. Welcome to that road. Let's talk about the roads you have ahead. Road number one, the road of dental practice. There have never been as many choices as there are now in dentistry. Choices we make as practitioners and choices made by the patient. But above all, these choices need to be made together. I'm devoting much of the end of my career to seeing if this happens, but I don't know if I'll achieve what I want. Maybe you can. I often tell my students that no one restorative solution is appropriate for every circumstance. Dentistry is by its very nature customized, but many resist this. They prefer habit and standardized routine. Where's the fun of that? Bring your best efforts to your patients and you will become known as a dentist who cares both for the person you treat and to do the best work possible. What is best work? Work that lasts, yet is minimally intrusive on the patient, on body structures, and on finances. I was at a Memorial Day party a couple weeks ago, and I had the occasion to talk to a woman that told me about her teeth. She didn't know I was a dentist. She had no idea. She thought I was part of the musical entertainment. So when I revealed my true profession to her, she showed me this bridge in her mouth. Okay. Those of you who haven't experienced that before, get ready. People are going to be showing you all kinds of things. Anyway, so she shows me this bridge, and she tells me she had it done at Loma Linda when she was 25 years old. I thought, cool. So I'm looking at her mouth, and she says, okay, so I said, can I take a picture of it? So I took my camera out, my phone. Took a couple pictures of it. I've been showing my students this picture ever since, the last couple of weeks. So this was I couldn't tell whether it was an onlay bridge or a 3/4 crown bridge. So the abutments were either onlays or 3/4 crowns. The facial surfaces were not reduced. And so I thought, okay, the point is it's a very conservative bridge, so nice. And yet, you might want to consider the fact that this woman, she had it done when she was 25. When I was talking to her, she was, this is a couple weeks ago, 78. So the same bridge has been in her mouth for 53 years. Okay, that's something worth thinking about. She did not recall the faculty member that did it, but I suspect, I know, as I have a 3/4 crown restoration in my mouth that I had done by possibly the same person 32 years ago. Do you think that an implant-born STR will have an expected lifetime that long? Ever? Give it some thought. You came to the ACT program because you wanted to have the best opportunity to extend your clinical insights and skills, and you have done so. Now take this out into the world. But you have some decisions to make going forward. One of the most important, I fully realize, is getting licensed and establishing your practice credentials. You may be doing community dentistry for a while and joining a DSO-managed practice later, but you can rest assured you can stay true to your beliefs. Road number 2, the road to teaching. Share what you have learned with your patients, in educating them as you deliver stellar work. Teach your patients. Share what you have learned with others following behind you on the path of learning. Find students to teach. You know what a difference a great teacher can make in your life. You have seen it and felt the truth of that in this program. Find a point in your life where you can pass this on. You will never learn more in life than by teaching. I often encourage my students to try to explain to their spouses or friends what a Class 2 amalgam restoration is, why it's done, how it's done, what's the difference between a well-done one and not so well-done one, and then see how your spouse or friend reacts to that. Do they get it? Does it make sense to them? If they go, oh, that's really cool, I really love that, that makes perfect sense, then you get it. You get it. You can't explain anything to somebody else that doesn't make sense to you. So practice teaching and things will make more sense to you. I had a student that practiced dentistry, had a clinical practice for 25 years with things never quite making sense. And he became disillusioned and didn't know why. He thought he wanted to start another practice in another state because he just wasn't happy. So he came to me because he wanted to start a practice in Nevada, and he wanted to pass the Nevada board exam, which was extremely challenging at that time. No longer exists, but back then it was challenging. So I entered him in my course, and we were working through a number of different things, and things started making sense to him. I explained the sense of things to him, and that's the first time he actually finally got it. And he found joy in his practice again. He never took the exam to get into Nevada. He stayed in his practice and enjoyed every moment of it from then on. Making sense of what you're doing. I can't emphasize how important that is. One of my teachers in dental school was Dr. Douglas Roberts. I always found him to be rather quiet, but when he spoke, people listened. He was generally considered to be the hardest teacher on the faculty, and most students avoided him like the plague. I sought him out whenever I could. As I joined the faculty later, many students avoided me, but some looked for me. It was always such a pleasure to learn together with students who want to learn. Another person who devoted their life to expanding dentists' awareness of quality was Dr. Richard V. Tucker, who I am sure you have heard. He also spoke quietly, but his influence has spanned the globe. What kind of teacher can you be? Even with education loans that must be serviced, can you find a day a week to bring clarity to others? My dean as a new faculty member at Loma Linda was Judd Klooster. He taught me that to get the most out of people, you must invest in them. Give them your faith, and everybody wins. I promised him I would remain on the faculty for 3 years and stayed for 8 because of the person he was. May you find such a person in your future. They are indeed rare. Road 3, the road to learning. It makes me sad to say that I have to admit that in my life I have not always learned what I could from my teachers. And I had some great ones. Nobel laureates included. When I was in chemistry, I had the occasion to invite Linus Pauling to my school, to his sister school, UCI, to teach my students on several occasions. I realize now I could have taken him out to dinner and sat down with him and talked to him about what it's like to be the scientific voice of a generation. Imagine that. But I did not. What a missed opportunity. I was a young 30-year-old. What do you do with those? Don't miss your chance to learn. Never let your ego get in your way. Everyone has something to teach you, and not just the greats. Nobody can afford not to learn from those going before us. But the best thing we can learn is how to learn. When we know how to learn, we can learn from our patients too. And this is a lifelong thing. Learn from our patients as people, and learn from the process of solving their problems. As dentists, our most valuable ability is to figure things out. That's where the fun comes in. Every situation and every patient is a challenge. Do not try to force every problem to fit a set of standard solutions. They just won't fit. Find a way that needs to be done to restore the patient to comfort and function with minimal impact on their lives. How sensitive are our patients to our impact? From 2016 through 19, I did a training in somatic experiencing, the most effective modality in helping people resolve shock trauma in their lives. Well, I never put this into place. I anticipated working with traumatized people to help them seek, or at least accept, dental care more comfortably. Dental treatment can be traumatizing and re-traumatizing. And if we take the time to learn from our patients what causes them distress, we might be able to bring them to the care they need in the way they need it. Just because someone tolerates what we do doesn't mean we are doing our job. Learn this, and what you bring to your patients may be a very special thing indeed. Okay, to summarize. The roads to practice, teaching, and learning. May you explore each of these along the way. You've achieved much to be graduated from this program. You have had the opportunity to learn from what I consider to be the best. You've had the faith that your abilities will be justly rewarded by opportunities to extend your practice experience. You will find a road forward, less traveled, but what a difference you can make. You have Mike Alfano's and my heartiest wishes for a productive career ahead, learning constantly while making people whole again in all the ways that we impact their lives. Every patient is a person first, and they take priority over you and even your family. That's the unwritten contract you sign upon licensure. Your bond to each and every patient is a holy bond. Treat it as such, and people will flock to you. People need help. You provide help. Do it well. But there's a broader picture. Find a way to pass on everything that you have learned going forward so that the dental provider community will grow to be healthy again. It needs your help too. I entered the profession of dentistry when I was much older than you are now, most likely. You have far more time than I to make a difference. Do it. This world, you will use your time wisely and bring something positive and supporting to this world. It needs it. This world needs everyone to do their best to be honest and caring. We don't see enough of this. That is your job. I applaud you for taking it on. I greatly appreciate being here and wholeheartedly thank Dr. Zendaki for inviting me to speak with you at the start of your long and fruitful road ahead. Congratulations.